Welcome to the Pendulum Podcast, where every week we'll be giving you our raw take on what's really going on when it comes to dating, relationships, sex, and love, and how to balance it out.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to another edition of the Pendulum View. I'm your co-host, Emeka Bronson, and I'm here with my lovely co-hosts, Nicole and Natasha. Say hello, everyone.
Hi, guys. I'm Nicole Melissa.
And I'm Natasha Lorraine.
And today's topic, what are we discussing today, Natasha?
Today's topic is, are you standing in your own way?
Yeah, that's a viable question, and I'm going to hit the start on the timer because we're going to give you a hot 20 minutes. You know, we respect your time, we respect our time. We'll dive into this topic, and hopefully you guys glean some value from it, and we can, help you, be successful in your dating lives. So I think with my clients, there is a lot of standing in their own way with regards to this question here. I find that the big thing is limiting beliefs. And when you're dealing with people, interacting with other people, you have all sorts of, emotional baggage that you're dragging with yourself throughout life that could hamper, how you perceive and see things going forward. And that type of energy can weigh you down and make you, for lack of a better term, unattractive. So I do find that a lot of people on my side of the fence, in my spectrum, they are their own worst enemy. It's usually the monster they've conjured up in their mind is just that. It's curated, it's conjured, it's over embellished, and it's just these voices in their heads that seem to emanate from limiting beliefs. What have you guys seen?
No, 100% agreed. I think that the number one killer is what you tell yourself, the story that you tell yourself, why it isn't working, anything that and I think that, again, this always goes back to your childhood traumas, like how you were raised is how you are going to treat yourself later on. So you're telling yourself that, these things don't exist, or all men cheat. Like, I think we had this discussion in a video prior, where a lot of young girls think that all men cheat. So if you're telling yourself that, that's probably who you're going to keep meeting. Because listen, law of attraction. Yeah. You're going to keep meeting types of people that way because that's what you believe. You believe that all men cheat, so therefore all men will cheat.
Yeah. I think that at least, you're right. No one knows themselves as a dater.
Yeah.
You think that you're smart, you're attractive, you have the car, you have the house, you have the 3 vacations a year, you go to the gym. What is there not to like? But, we've been talking about this lately, these crazy conversations on Clubhouse. And
how do they find you on Clubhouse anyways, by the way?
Tasha Saunders at The Love Listeners.
Okay.
Tasha Saunders at The Love.
Yes, okay. Check me out there. You're going to see us on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
we're going to start some rooms and have some conversations. Yeah, because that's what it's really about. Like, everybody's talking about all this surface stuff about having a good profile picture and, really filling out your bio. And I'm always chiming in saying, what someone's going to love about you is not going to be written out on paper. Someone is going to love you for all the things you have to offer on the inside. And just like what you're saying, it's energy. So Nicole and I are always talking about doing the work and trusting the process. If you don't do the work on yourself, you will end up in the same situation over and over again because you haven't done the work. And when you do the work, you realize what you're bringing to the table.
You understand your work.
Like, nobody can break your heart. Value. Nobody can break your heart but you. And how? Because you accept things that don't make you feel good. And you keep doing that over and over.
And there's nothing worse than breaking your own damn heart.
Yeah, no one has the power to make you do anything but yourself. And I do believe that online dating is challenging, but I know so many people that met someone on online dating pretty quick after signing up.
and successful
and being, having a happy, successful relationship. So that is not foreign, but those people, those people, we talk about that. Like, someone was saying like, oh, if you sign up for something that is paid, that it automatically makes you more serious. It's not about being serious. It's about being ready. And hopefully doing this, we can really create a community of healed people that can date one another. Because oftentimes someone that is healed ends up meeting someone who isn't, but then maybe not. Maybe people are, I read something the other day about you don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. So if you're in this space of attracting negativity and people that aren't your person, then that's really a time to reflect.
Yeah, you're carrying that somewhere.
Yeah, we were having a conversation this week about dating really gets, you to know other people, but dating should really get you to know yourself, so that who's ever showing up is a direct reflection of you. So maybe it is a time that, somebody was saying like, oh, you dodged a bullet. Like, no, maybe not. Maybe it's not everyone else's excuse. Maybe it is your own. Sometimes we do stand in our own way and we don't know. And that's something that we really want to bring awareness to, and not in a mean, harsh way, but in a really eye-opening way of, hey, maybe there's something that I could be doing different so that I can have a different result.
You have to be also willing to, want to say it with me, guys? Take account. You have to be accountable. Accountability again and again and again and again. You have to be able to be willing to look at it for what it is. Instead of what you think it is, you got to see what it is.
Yeah.
And your results show you what it is. So you can have all kinds of things in your mind, but your results are showing you what it is, right? You have to be willing to see things as they really are.
Whoa, Nicole, there you with all that accountability talk, you're beginning to sound like a MGTOW moderator.
So, what does that mean?
It's an inside joke for me and the boys, but I do agree with what a lot of what you said, and I think what's happening right now in the dating market are the results of people with negative self-speak, not being able to take accountability, which has resulted in the marriage rate steadily declining since the 60s. I think in America, a statistician, that's a tough one to say. Yeah, there you go. Mentioned that I think over 72% of Americans over 15 or 16 were married before the 60s. So historically, it's not easy. It's not hard to bring up the fact that everyone had embraced marriage, in the early days of human civilization, out of a need for survival or whatever. I think now the necessity for getting married has decreased as humans have evolved. And I think a large part of that is, the fact that the sales funnel, so to speak, for lack of a better term, the lead funnel has become so prevalent and so strong that there's always, there seems to be a new option, another fish in the sea, so to speak. And I think often you can get in your own way by always assuming that there's always a better option around the corner, or the grass always being greener on the other side. And it ties into perfectly into I think the next topic we're going to be discussing, which is your type. But the fact that people always seem to have this buyer's remorse as soon as they get into a relationship. Like, did I settle too much? Did I compromise too much? And you end up with this paralysis via over-analysis, because you're always double checking, triple checking, and wondering if you could have gotten a better deal somewhere else. I think that can also be very self-destructive ideology. And
I think that I also think that right now this is a wild time And, we've been talking about coronavirus, and it has really been affecting people's mental health because we're just all locked up. Like Nicole and I, we were doing some research, in respect to the movie. And we kind of like, we have a flaw of this. Pardon?
Which movie?
My Friend Tommy.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we reached out to a community of ladies that are single.
Gosh.
And we put something out like, hey, we
it was tragic.
Yeah.
Like I just had to kibosh the whole thing.
We had to just take it down.
Just forget it.
The amount of hate.
Oh my gosh.
That single women, you could tell me, Emeka, because I don't really see it as much in men, and maybe you do, but the single lady right now, she's bitter.
Very.
She's locked up in her home. She has nothing going on. She probably doesn't have any children. And she's in her early 30s, and
her clock's ticking.
She's miserable.
She's anxious.
She's negative.
Yeah.
And I feel like also this whole
Marissa told me and my cousin Vinny, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
No, like it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And you know what? If I wasn't at that time in a long-term relationship and or married at that time, I get it.
Me too.
So if you want to have children, I get it. Like
but even aside from that, like if I didn't have my kids right now and I had to live alone, I don't like it. It would be horrible. It's not like I have this huge, exciting social life, but there's things that I do enjoy doing outside of the home that I cannot do, that I could really feel the effects of.
Yeah.
And I think that this is mental health is a real topic of conversation right now.
Okay.
And
that preamble leaves me with 2.3 million questions, because now I want to know what types of things were these women saying on this posting.
Oh, they didn't trust the word. They were just like,
they thought it was a scam right away.
Well, not even that it was a scam. Right away, they were like, do you not, one lady said, do you know how racist that is? Do you not see how problematic that is? for his wants, for what he was saying, that his preferences, what he's looking for. Okay. So I was looking for his preferences, and I shared, these are the preferences that we're looking for. Because we didn't want everybody to, I don't want to go through 1,000 different chicks. I just want these types of women to come forward. So I said I was specific about what I'm looking for. And I also shared what he was. What kind of Asians? Do you know there's all kinds of Asians? There's South Asians, there's this Asians. I was like, okay, why are we so angry?
Yeah.
What are we angry about? You're angry. Who wants this? There's not going to be any man in the world that wants this. And this is the problem about, we need to have this conversation.
Next time.
Whatever. In the future, we just have this conversation about,
it sounded very unhealthy. It sounds very unhealthy, what the backlash there.
Anyway, I can't remember what I was going to say, but we need to have a conversation about that. Also, side note, I was asking some people on our Instagram, at the Lovelisters_Nick and Tash, for questions. So we have to do a segment. We'll come up with a Q&A, because we have some questions that we'll need to answer next week.
Okay. Well, I've been in contact with Tommy, not recently, I think before the end of 2020. And, he's been dating. He's found some females that are interested, but nothing long term. And he understands it's a process, and he's experienced a little bit of backlash ever since he cut the promo for that movie. But he's also had some people who unfortunately feel bad for him because they realize that everyone's being entertained by his at his expense. But I thought the backlash was attacking Tommy. I didn't realize the backlash was these females attacking the process of us flushing out preferences.
Yeah, so, they're just bitter.
So you're not allowed to have a preference? Is that what they're basically saying?
Basically, they're saying it's unfair for you to he's open to all races.
Yeah.
And so I had said, like, it's not like I was like, no, he's open to all races, but, prefers somebody that is Christian, has a Christian belief system. Somebody not, slender to average. These are the things that he's looking for. Why are you offended by any of that?
But I feel like that is the problem.
Wild.
With the internet is that
it makes you picky and choosy.
Well, no, it just makes you hide behind
crap.
The truth. You could type anything you want when you're in a negative space, and nobody knows that they are. Nobody thinks they're being negative. Nobody thinks that they're not good. And that's why you can stand in your own way, because you don't know, and you're looking at, just like what we're saying, you want to be accountable, and oftentimes we create these stories in our mind when the results are right there in front of you, not just about other people, but about yourself. And it's so hard for people to understand that. And
it's also hard to take accountability.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. It is hard to take accountability.
Yeah.
Like to see yourself as someone is sharing with you how they see you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's their perception of you. Right. And so you have to take into account, not to say that like everything that everybody has to say about you is going to be the truth. Because again, it's their perception, right? So I can't control what you're going to think of.
Well, that's the thing too.
But my behavior, though, sometimes it could be like, you're right.
Because even I was talking about this today too, which is like one of the beauties about being a matchmaker is you get to hear what every single person is saying about that one individual. So there's someone for everyone, right? Yeah. So there's going to be some people that meet you that they're just not your person, and there's no reason why. It's just like, I didn't feel a connection with that person. I thought they were nice, but they're not my person. Yeah. And then that's cool. But when every single person has the same thing to say about you, then that's something completely different. And that's what online doesn't offer. It doesn't offer the knowledge to know what those other people, what those people really think about you. And you're left to just believe like, oh, that person was an asshole. When
I know that might not thin line of people always say like, it doesn't matter what people think of you. Where I feel like there's a thin line where it does matter what people think of you. Because if the majority of the people around you don't think you're a nice enough person to be around, and the majority of people around you don't like you, that kind of says something, right? I'm not saying that you need to like live your life for other people. No, I'm just saying you don't need to be mindful that most people feel like you're a difficult personality. And that's just,
especially if you desire to get something you're not getting it, then maybe you need to change your strategy in order to get it. If you're not seeking anything, then why does anybody else's opinion care? If you're reaching outside of your social bubble, then I want to run for mayor of Toronto. Guess what? I'm gonna have to worry about people's opinions. If I'm just concerned about being a plumber in Kitchener or whatever. Then I don't give a shit what people think, except the people that I'm doing plumbing for, right? So it's all relative.
Exactly. And if you're looking for love to date someone, then you do need to be mindful of how you come across, because you want someone to be able to fall in love with you.
Yeah, the whole belief system of what other people think of me is none of my business, I think is bullshit.
Yeah, to an extent.
No. Well, I disagree with the way you framed it, Natasha, but keep going.
Well, no, I think that your overall energy of what you give off to people is your responsibility to make people want to be around you long term. That is your responsibility.
Specifically a significant other.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to curate the language, because, for example, if it begins to slam against my theory, of course, me being the theorist from the Alpha IQ frame of thought, is that there is a fine line between caring what people think about you and not giving a shit about what people think about you.
Very thin.
If you open up the floodgates too much, you'll find that people will just start becoming predatorial with your energy, and then diminish your confidence and gamifying their ability to diminish your confidence.
Yeah,
so
pendulum.
There is a fine line. There is a pendulum. Yes. The pendulum.
Balance.
There you go.
It's always gonna come to balance.
I'll even use myself as an example. So for me, I used to be a people pleaser, and I still struggle with that a little bit. But like overall now, I think I've definitely come out of that, but it comes from that, right?
Yeah.
For like wanting other people to be okay in my presence. It still matters to me how the energy I give off when I walk into a room. That does matter to me, but it doesn't matter to me anywhere near like it used to. You know what I'm saying? But I think people do need to be concerned about how you come off.
But I feel like that exactly what you just said though. Once you like know yourself,
Yeah,
and you are confident in your own energy,
you don't need to.
You don't need to really be worrying about that at that point.
Yeah.
People like you, and you're also in the knowing of what your energy is. And oftentimes people don't. Going back to the topic, are you standing in your own way? You have to know yourself. And we've had these conversations several times during these conversations we're having.
Yeah, well, that's our time there. Great points shared, and I think I think for everybody, are you standing your own way? Please, try to self improve. Try to get out of your own head and get out there and and be a ray of light. So go Chiefs. I'm wearing my Ravens jersey. I was gonna draw a correlation between Patrick Mahomes and the fact that he needs to vibe with his new offensive line, because unfortunately, I think without that offensive line that's usually in front of him, he might have a tough time this weekend. So, anyways,
well, we'll see.
So much for my All right. Thanks, folks, for tuning in, and we'll see you next
time.
Episode. All right.
We'll see you next week. Okay,
Sure.
bye.
Leave your comments below. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I'm going to make you fall in love. Stay tuned and stay woke.